Jack Van Breen from Guitar Showcase in San Jose, California. www.guitarshowcase.com. You probably were going to figure that out anyway. Here I am on Totally Guitars with my buddy Larry, and we're just kind of hanging out in the vintage vault here at Guitar Showcase. We've been getting a lot of visitors from out of town the last month or so, and the number one comment is, wow, you guys are a lot bigger inside than you look like outside. And on the web, and you know, our web presence is, well, shall we say, less than desirable. It's difficult to keep our stock on hand because it changes so quickly. And as you can see, we have a fair bit of it. We've probably got 400 or 500 guitars down here. We've got our Fender custom shop up on the wall. We got about 30 custom shop pieces right now. Some of them are, well, shoot, almost all of them are unique one-of-a-kinds. We have our Mesa collection. Pretty reasonable selection of Mesa gear. We've got vintage Les Pauls hanging up on the wall, some 52s, some 53s. We have a segment on this site about the 54 we just have. Some hand signed by Les Paul himself. We have some reproductions like the world famous Blackie, Eric Clapton. A parts guitar for those of you who care. Stevie Ray Vaughan's #1. We have a vintage Corvette commemorative Les Paul. That's a Corvette, folks, not those other things. We've got some great jazz boxes back there, an old ES1, 375. I can't read it from here. Thick bodies, non-cutaway with P90s. Got a Benedetto from Guild. L5 thick and thin. A single pickup thin-bodied Martin. That's real unusual. Here we have Marilyn rather tastefully covered up on the 54 Playboy commemorative Stratocaster. We have a Harley Davidson Les Paul. I was biting my tongue. Stratocaster. I can't believe I said that. So we've got a few things here. Hanging up on the wall, we've got a 60 Stratocaster that was owned by Herbie Herbert, Journey's manager and owner of Cyclops Studios, where Journey did a lot of their work, often using that guitar with the basement amplifier hanging down here. We got all kinds of fun stuff. We have this, I'm particularly happy with this it says 67 Gretsch, but I thought that was a 62. Could have sworn that was a 62. Anyway, that belongs to the owner. That was one of his first real electric guitars. Yeah, he lets me play it on occasion if I've been very good. So we have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What else? We got all these tellies. We've got Strats from varying years. We've got a Duo Sonic hanging in the background.
Got a no-caster hanging around?
You know, I think we might, although Gary tends to keep those things close to home. A lot. You know, while I've got about 60, 70 vintage pieces on display here, he's got another 100 that he has salted away for a rainy day.
Oh, Bo Diddley there.
Yeah, that's a reissue of a guitar that Bo had created for him. There's a Bonnie Raitt hand-signed Stratocaster. Interesting story about that. When you see these hand-signed instruments sold by the guitar manufacturers, generally money changes hand between the manufacturer and the guitarist who's signing the guitar he's endorsing. Bonnie Raitt, an amazing singer-songwriter, singer, performer, slide guitarist, is an amazing human being. Instead of getting paid to have her guitar produced, she had Fender Musical Instruments put a guitar and a bass and an amp for the guitar and an amp for the bass in every girls and boys club in America, so that children who were less privileged would have access to music. That's just an amazing thing. We have back here the Jerry Garcia tribute guitar. I don't know what they're calling it these days, but basically that was Jerry's guitar model. A couple basses from Alembic. The Alembic family, just amazing folks as well, always doing interesting stuff. We have our line of old Fender and other basses down here.
Are those Rickenbackers?
Those are Rickenbackers. Allegedly, the frying pan, as they call it, was one of the first electrified guitars in the world. It's a lap steel, primarily for Hawaiian style of music. but it's one of the first, and I think one of those are those early versions.
We're gonna have to pull that. Can you play that?
No, but we can pull one out in a future segment. Have a nice electrified Gibson mandolin, some Moserites, probably the thinnest neck in the world. You will never see me playing a Moserite on stage because my fingers are too chubby. Some vintage, some reissue V's, reissue Modern, and the Explorer. And here we are for 4th of July. We've got the United States map.
We're ready. Boy, pretty good assortment of basses here too that
We
we're walking
do.
by.
We've got some few 60s. This Black Precision here is exactly the same bass that Tyran Porter used, if I'm not mistaken, on Taking It to the Streets. Their guitar tech at the time was a luthier we have in town, Mark Brown, and Mark flew up to pick it up for him so he could finish the session. That was kind of fun. Mark's a great guy too. If you need real good work done, you talk to Mark. Be patient. He takes his time.
Oh my gosh, Hofner Beetle basses.
Yeah, one real, one not. Well, I mean, they are real, but they're reissues.
Not that one for 14,000.
1400.
Oh, 1,400.
Yeah, that's a reissue.
It's peeking out.
Yeah. So
The double neck, we've done a segment on that.
we've done a segment on the 1275 that made infamous by Mr. Jimmy Page. We have the Jeff Beck Oxblood back there. Interesting guitar. If you can play that guitar, I'll know you're a real guitar player because it's not the easiest to play. But what a guitar!
Lots more Les Pauls hanging around up there.
Well, yeah, I find it mildly frustrating that people don't think we have any selection because we have at any given day at least 50 or 60 Les Pauls hanging that you can try. And about the equivalent number of Stratocasters and Telecasters. So if you're looking for an electric guitar, and I can't stress this enough, it's important to wrap your hands around it, see if it talks to you, see if you can generate that bond. Because the price isn't the thing. If it's a guitar you're going to play for 50 years and make amazing music.
Well, Jack, you've got a heck of a man cave here.
Yep. Well, you know what, Larry? I have to say, it's not just a man cave. We have lots of ladies come through and appreciate the instruments. I have been very fortunate that I've got some very good player friends that are women. And what I like about that is when they play with my band, the whole band looks better, so that's kind of nice. So women, if you're out there watching this, we definitely would welcome your presence here. Come down and play the guitars as well. I promise you, I won't ask you if you're buying it for your boyfriend, because I know better.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
You're welcome, Larry.